Welcome to Drill Down Earnings. We have quarterly results from Cadence Design Systems. This is the business story behind one stock in the move. I'm Cory Johnson, Chief Market Strategist for Epistrophy Capital Research. We look at the 50 most important companies in technology. Cadence Design, certainly one of them, kind of one of the two giants when it comes to designing semiconductors. Obviously, the designers are the semiconductor companies usually, but the software that those companies use. Are they using Cadence, or they're using Synopsys, or they're using both? And they have been dominant companies in this industry. You would think, therefore, in this age of AI, this age of semiconductor design exploding, that these businesses would be exploding. Yes, they're doing a lot better, but the stocks are not. But we've got the story behind the stock on the move. This is Q4 earnings for Cadence. And while they did better than estimates, Wall Street was wrong. Again, shocker. They actually did a lot better than my estimates. They had a revenue of $1.36 billion in the quarter. That's up 27% on a year-over-year basis. That's fantastic for this company. Really nice margins too, 34% margins, call it 33.7%. Really nice and nicely profitable as well. But one of the things we look for in this company is, can they continue to sell everywhere they want? Export controls by the EU and by the US are really important for lots of reasons, for global security, but also as it matters for the ability of the top semiconductor companies like NVIDIA and AMD and others to sell their equipment into China, but also the software companies that design those semiconductors. So when we look at the Cadence results, one of the things we look for is what's happening with China. It was over 18% of sales only 2 years ago. That's fallen to 13%, and it's kind of been flat at 13%. You might have thought it would go even lower, but China auto sales are actually doing okay. They're doing well at selling certain kinds of software to develop certain kinds of chips in China. So while it is still under 20% of their business, I mentioned 13%, when you look at the raw dollar figures, they're kind of hanging in there for China despite those export controls. Now let's talk about some of the products here. Cadence Cerebus, Sim AI, Allegro X AI, all gaining strong momentum in their businesses. They kind of turn over to the next new quality products being used to design the next level of semiconductors, and seeing really nice growth within there. And so one of the interesting developments we've seen there from this company is where they're designing chips and the new types of chips that are being designed. So before we talk about that, let's talk about the guidance, because the guidance really affected the stock here. The midpoint of the guidance of $5.18 billion was less than what the estimates were on the street, as was the earnings per share estimates. And although Cadence has done this many times to us, come with soft guidance below estimates, stock falls a little bit, then they come out and they beat estimates. I'm not saying they're sandbagging here at all, but the stock was down 9% in after-hours trading, and indeed is down now 5% for the year. Not great. But let's talk about specifically what's happening technologically for this company. So 3D IC, three-dimensional integrated circuits, otherwise known as chiplets. It's basically when you take a semiconductor, build another semiconductor, build another semiconductor, sandwich on top of each other all at once. And these chiplets are changing industry. It started with AI, but now it's moving to all kinds of advanced semiconductors in less advanced kind of products. This isn't just for data centers now. Now it's for automobiles. Now it's for consumer products. This chiplet evolution and 3D printing, or sorry, I should say, the 3D systems that are created by Taiwan Semiconductor better than anybody else are really impressive, because they're high performance, small footprint, kind of a heterogeneous integration where you can do lots of all things in one single thing, plug it into your board, and it's doing lots of different things. That's an amazing development in the world of semiconductors, and a fantastic opportunity for the software companies that create chips, in Synopsys and in this case in Cadence Design. So Cadence Design CEO Anirudh Devgan, the PhD, of course, I want to give him credit for his PhD. Here's what he had to say about chiplet design, what it means in China, what it means for China automotive, and what it means for Cadence Design.
I would like to say that chiplet design is happening across the globe and also in all verticals. It is not, specific to a particular region or vertical. Of course, it started with, as you know, with high performance computing, with all these big AI chips and server products. But now, automotive and, even laptops, they're all getting disaggregated. Okay. So we are always been focused on 3D IC and chiplet-based design from, maybe 15 years ago. Maybe it was too early. I think our first reference flow with TSMC on 3D IC was like 2007 or 2008. Okay. But of course, it has picked up steam in the last few years. And we are particularly well positioned, given we have EDA products, packaging products, system products, and also IP needs to go that way. So we have, what I would call IP 2.0 is more focused not just on individual IP, but silicon solutions and chiplet architecture. So that's why you're seeing investment for us on chiplets, not just on the EDA side, but also on the IP side. But I think it's going to happen, I believe, across all geographies, across all verticals, and it's only going to accelerate going forward.
So there you have it from the CEO, chiplets going on through the business, which is going to be an opportunity for these guys going forward. It certainly led to great growth in sales, if not the stock price yet. But what's your big drill down earnings takeaway? What's the one number that tells us a whole lot? We've got that. So Cadence Design Q4 earnings, an important quarter for this company. Fantastic growth. $1.4 billion in revenues, 27% year-over-year growth. What's not to love here with accelerating growth rates in an exciting business of software for semiconductors, and indeed really great growth with their kind of core products of Cadence Cerebus, Sim AI, Allegro X AI, if I can remember the name of that product. But the one number that means a whole lot here to me is $176 million in sales in the quarter into China. Shows that China is actually picking up for them in terms of business, remaining 13% of revenues, important for Cadence Design despite export controls. All right, thanks for checking and drill down earnings. Subscribe to us. We appreciate it. I'm Cory Johnson.